name's Matt Riffle, and I'll be your host as Cox Cable presents the Seminole Chieftains and the Mike Snyder Show. And joining me now is Chieftain head coach Mike Snyder. Coach, congratulations on victory number 9.
Number 9, and wrapping up the second place finish in our district. And again, obviously, when we started the year, we wanted a district championship, and we're just going to have to take a little detour and still attain those goals in the playoffs that we had. But it was a good win.
And the Chieftains started off the game in a very fine fashion again, Coach. A 15-play, 75-yard drive, and you used 5.5 minutes of the first quarter clock.
Yeah, I really thought that was a really nice drive. We made some big third down conversions, a fourth down conversion, I think, on the touchdown. So that was something that we were real pleased about. We chipped away, didn't have any long gains in there. So I had a good game plan, I thought, right in there at the beginning, and then they made some adjustments, and we had to go a little different direction. And we really wanted to stay basic and not do some things that we'd done earlier to basically, keep in the 2 game films that they exchanged with us, Marlowe, and to, basically stay basic on all that stuff.
And, Coach, your defense had another great night. Dickson picks up 2 first downs their first possession. Then they don't pick up another first down in the first half until we get a personal foul.
Yeah, I thought that was one of our better defensive performances. And Dickson was not a bad football team. I thought really defensively they were a very good football team, and they had done a nice job on everybody that had played. They just had trouble scoring against people. But I think our defense, we were flying the football. When we broke down the film Saturday morning, we pointed out those kids. There was about several, 4 or 5 plays that everything went. I mean, you talked about 11 people doing the exact same thing that their coach did that on several of those plays, and ended up being a 0 gain or negative yardage.
Coach, you played a lot of the 4-3 defense again Friday night, and it looks like it's really become effective for you.
I think it fits our personnel, like we talked about last week some. I think it allows us to make some adjustments in the back end that we were having a difficult time in doing with some of our other schemes. But again, I think it fit our personnel and allowing us to do some things defensively. Talking
about the game, it was 12-0 at halftime, and you see the final score, you kind of wonder, if it was just a blowout, but really pretty close game, and you come out in the second half, and the defense makes a big play, and everything goes downhill for Dickson.
We get a big play there. The first half, we had a chance probably to score at least 1 or 2 more there, and we didn't get it done. But again, they had a lot to do with it. I thought they really played hard defensively. Their kids, again, they had something to play for, and they were continuing to announce the score of the Lone Grove, game during the ball game. And if Lone Grove was beating Hugo, so if Dickson had beaten us, then they were in the playoffs. So I know that encouraged their players to play hard, and I thought they really did.
And Coach, it looked like later on in the game you tried to work a little bit on the passing game. A lot of times this year you really haven't had a chance to throw the football, and you got a late touchdown, I think, maybe in the fourth quarter that was a long pass play.
Yeah, we wanted to, I think we threw the ball 17 times. We were 10 out of 17 for about 151 yards, and David did a nice job of making some good decisions on some checkoffs and going to some people underneath. Royce gets the big play for us on a hitch and go, and I felt like we really need one more touchdown to put it away and let our young kids play and get all our kids out of there and give them some rest and stay healthy, and we're able to do that. Of course, they bounced back with opening the kickoff and put it in the end zone for a touchdown.
Coach, you talk about the young guys getting a chance to play. Tell us a little bit about how important that is for these young guys to get into this type of atmosphere. The Chieftains at 9-1 now know you're going to the playoffs, and here's a bunch of freshman, sophomore guys that are getting to play in a game right before you go into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that was a big plus for us in the fact that we hadn't played a JV game in a couple of weeks because we were so banged up in some areas. So our kids had the opportunity to play. It allows us, I think, as coaches to go back when we break the film down during the winter to say, hey, this kid, go down and look at what each kid did in those fourth quarter and third quarters that they got to play in. So, I think it allows us to build on some things that coaching staff wise, and then obviously if those kids have some success, they're going to go into the winter and work extremely hard. So they'll be starting that next year.
And you had to like the fact that you get the ball back with about 3 minutes left, and they run out the clock. A lot of times you have to punt it away, but they ran out the clock.
I thought we did some good things there offensively. We came off the ball a lot better, and they were kind of they didn't wholesale substitute their defensive team, but they were sticking some other kids in there in spots. So we were going against some of their first group with our second group, and I really thought they did a nice job. And we again came off the ball, and then defensively when we were in there, they were going to the football.
Well, Coach, we've got a playoff game coming up. We're allowed to talk all that stuff again.
We can talk it now.
So we'll go ahead and take a look at this film, and then we'll come back and talk about the playoffs right after this. Senior night activities, Coach.
Yeah, I think we have our senior drill team and cheerleaders before the ball game.
We're actually recognizing the band members.
Band members right
here.
now.
Okay, this is then we have the cheerleader. That is the band.
Right? We're giving them the bricks.
Don't know how many seniors they had in the band. I'm not for sure.
Is this all of them right here, maybe?
There was some more there at the beginning, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, not for sure exactly
Join
how
this
many
in
they
progress.
had. Yeah, not for sure exactly how many they had.
Stadium was kind of loud the other night, Coach.
Yeah,
things were rocking.
Get a little fan base back now, a little more excitement.
Chieftains will be at home Friday night. Now you're getting your senior players.
Yeah, introducing them, and again, what a nice career they've had, winning 30 ball games and district championship, 2 state runner-ups, and have gone down as a group that has built on the tradition and the foundation of this program.
You look out there, beginning of every contest, Coach, and there's 24 of those young men that walk out there. Seems like every year you have 20 plus.
Yeah, it's when you're trying to replace those guys, I tell you.
You wonder how you do it.
Yeah, I wonder myself sometimes, and this is a group that will certainly be missed. I think you look at our district, and there was about 2 or 3 teams that were very young, Plainview and Lone Grove and Dickson. And then the rest of us were pretty much senior-dominated teams.
Yeah, Sulphur, another team that has a bunch of seniors this year. Right. Of course, they had a bunch of returning starters coming into the year. You didn't have as many.
Right. So that's there'll be a lot of reorganizing and getting some people in the right place over the winter and getting people a lot stronger so they can become starters and carry on that tradition.
The one thing that you have to look forward to for next year is there'll be so many openings throughout the team that a guy that's a freshman this year is going to be a sophomore has got a realistic chance to come in and play.
I think we've got. I think right now we have 18 freshmen practicing with us right now, and I think they see that because they've been working extremely hard to out and practice, and it's all a little game time.
It's always a plus when they know that they've got a real shot to get a starting job.
Exactly. And I said, as freshmen, we're really excited about the freshman group. It was a good group that I thought really played well.
Again, a good turnout Friday night, Coach, and just like to encourage people to turn out again this Friday night.
Yeah. It's Gosh Dog Marlowe is a team that's beat us the last 3 times, so we've got to really get after it and. We need that big crowd back at Chieftain crowd that we're used to having.
Coach, I was trying to remember some of the Marlowe games. I know we beat them, I think, when Sean was junior.
Yeah, or 90. I'm sorry, 90.
That was a kind of a historic game.
Yes,
the fake punt.
Yes.
It saved our bacon, so to speak.
Yes.
But we've had some, the Ice Bowl game that we went down to Marlowe. It was a beautiful day when we went down there and ended up just being frigid.
Miserable. And then I think it followed the next year with a rain game here.
Yeah, and we lost that one here. And that was that a first round game, Coach, or
a second? Was a second round game. We'd beaten Sulphur the first round, I believe.
So the Dickson Comets win the toss. They elect to defer. Chieftains get the ball and start off.
Yeah, a real good return. We didn't get too many people down there.
Bunch of shirts, white shirts around you. Going to come out throwing the ball. Should have had a completion.
Should have had completion. We got to set the tone for the game, and we just don't focus. And he comes back and makes some nice catches later. So I guess we can excuse it once, but
Chauncey picks up 2 here.
yeah, this looked like a real good play when we first started. And then we had allowed a guy get over the top of us.
Royce Street really coming on later in the season as a big-time receiver.
Tell you
Picks up
what,
20
you know,
yards here.
with a lot of speed. I thought David did a nice job setting up right there. That ball's down low and makes a nice catch. And
Quarterback needed the help on that one. He got it from Street, 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Cravens picks up 3.
yeah, come back with the draw. As you can see, we just don't get to a backer.
2nd down, about 7. Ulysses Beavers gets his first carry of the night, and he will get no gain.
Yeah, like I said, they're doing a good job defensively.